Would you like to come in very quickly? London Mela, now actually, I think, possibly in its spiritual home. We're right in the heart of Southall, an amazing, iconic town here in West London, a town steeped in history when it comes to music, when it comes to immigration, when it comes to where we're going in terms of the future of Britain. So I just want to welcome you to, I think, maybe a nodal point in the history of the London Mela. It's finally in Southall, and I know many of you are either from Southall or you have links with Southall. So just I think a collective round of applause for this beautiful, beautiful town. This iconic town in West London. So much history, as I've already mentioned, and we'll kind of cover that with some of the speakers who you're going to be listening to over the next 20 minutes or thereabouts. Just so you know, my name's Bobby Friction. I'm from the BBC. I spread my work across the BBC Asian Network, Radio 1, BBC television stations, and my relationship with the London Mela goes back over a decade. It goes back with Julian, as well as Ajay, creative director and the man who puts everything together. And it goes back in terms of the heat of creativity. When I was first asked to DJ at the Mela, I remember turning up, and this is when the Mela was at the other site. What was the name? Gunnersbury Park, all right? See, I've already forgotten. Southall feels permanent now. And when I was first asked to get involved, I remember thinking, this is a Mela, but it's not the same as all these other Melas. These Melas across the UK do really important musical, creative and community work, but it just felt different when it happened in West London. And it felt different because it wasn't the West London Mela, it was the London Mela. And I think their vision from the beginning was to have a Mela that represented every, at the time, South Asian community in London. So it wasn't a Punjabi Mela, it wasn't a Ilford Mela, a Pakistani Mela, a Bangladeshi Mela. It was the London Mela for the South Asian communities in the UK. And then over the first couple of years, I think because of their hard work and their vision, we realised that it wasn't even an Asian Mela. It was Asian in the sense that it had the word Mela involved, and its creative core was about South Asian arts, but it reached out to everyone in London, every community, every heritage, every colour. And over those 10 years plus that I've worked with them, I've seen it blossom from a Mela with a lot of vision into what I think is now the Mela for the UK, the Asian version of Glastonbury. And maybe as we move forward, not even an Asian version of Glastonbury, a Glastonbury for people of colour and for people who are indigenous to these islands. So once again, just a little round of applause for the idea of this Mela growing and growing and growing until it becomes as solid as the Hay Literary Festival, as Glastonbury, as all of these great things us Brits are so good at organising. So a round of applause for both Julian and Ajay. And the vision that they had. So I'm going to introduce some speakers on stage for you, but I just want you to take away one thing from me, and that is I've been involved with this Mela, as I said, for over a decade, and I feel that maybe 5-10 years into the future, this will be the Mela, and they'll be able to call it the Mela. Not the Nottingham Mela or the Birmingham Mela or the London Mela, just the Mela, because it really is everything a Mela's about. Music, creativity, but most of all community. And as if you take a look around, you'll see this really is West London at its finest, all represented, as well as on the stage. So first, I'd like to call up Councillor Tejinder Dhami, who's the Mayor of Ealing. If you could come forward, please, sir.
Thank you, Bobby. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here today to Zee London Mela and honored to be hosting this year's Mela in Southall, the home of Bhangra. And we got a lot of artists. I can see Minder Kaur Bhangra, Kaljit Bhangra, and other artists as well in the crowd. Over the 2 days event, you will get to experience incredible artists, musicians, and local talent while celebrating Asian culture and creativity. Hope you all have a wonderful day and enjoy this Mela. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you to the Mayor of Ealing, and I just want to add something to that because tomorrow you're going to hear some great British Asian music, but today it's about the Bhangra, okay? And Southall is the home of Bhangra. Some people say in the UK, some of us argue it's the home of Bhangra in the world because it was a folk rhythm in India, but it was the people of Southall, and actually lots of respects and salutations to the people of Birmingham in the 70s and 80s who really brought this genre forward. So just so you know, as well as hearing the sounds of Southall, this amazing band put together by the iconic producer and instrumentalist Kuljit Bhamra, you're also, at some point today, if you stick around, you're going to be able to watch a documentary that I've made for the BBC, which goes out on BBC Two as well as BBC 4 next week, and it's called Bump Up the Bhangra, The Sound of Asian Britain, and it's essentially a documentary not just on the music but actually on the entire community based here in West London and the struggles we went through in the 70s and 80s and 90s. So please, if you can, stick around for that, alright, because I'm just really proud that we're getting the world premiere of this documentary at this Mela, and once again a great reflection on their vision, getting the band together, getting this iconic sound situation that Kuljit Bhamra has organised for you today, and also thank you for trying something completely different, playing an hour-long documentary to a festival crowd in a park in Southall. So thanks for that, and as I said, stick around for that. Next, I'd like to call up Divya Sanjeev from Zee TV, who wants to say a few words. If Divya Sanjeev is here? Yeah? Okay. Punjabi timing. Not even Punjabi timing, just people of colour timing. Alright, well, we can move on now to a living legend, and I'm actually quite nervous introducing the next person just because we are actually in the same tent and in the presence of a living legend. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your massive appreciation for Virendra Bhamra, who's going to be performing today, but also who essentially, I think, is the Maharani of Bhangra worldwide.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, congratulations to you, to everyone, because I'm so pleased to see London Mela has come back to Southall, and so nice. Actually, I like to mention, we used to live in North London, Palms Green. We used to come in Southall because the Gurdwaras were here and all the functions they were holding in Southall. So then, in 1968, we bought the house in Southall. So it's 50 years now, and our house is next to park. And Southall was special to us because I had singing hobbies, going to sing in gurdwaras, weddings, and this is the way my life was involved with my family. So we, after us, then so many singers came, and today you will see on the stage many singers will sing songs for you, and I hope you will enjoy your evening. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Once again, I hope you don't think I was being too cheeky, but we really are in the presence of a living legend and the Maharani of Bhangra worldwide. And the band who you're going to watch before this film are called the Sounds of Southall. And when Auntie G here mentioned that you're going to see all these singers, we're taking you in a time capsule, in a time machine back. Hira will be performing today. Jenny Singh from Alat will be performing today, and lots of those other iconic bands, all covered in the documentary, which I'm obviously pushing out to you right now and promoting. But you're going to actually essentially get a history lesson and a musical celebration of the sounds of Southall via the band that you're about to see. Now next I want to call up to the stage Dr. Onkar Sahota from the Greater London Authority. So a round of applause for Dr. Sahota.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Bobby, you're doing a great job, quite a frictionless job, despite your name being Bobby Friction. This summer, we had a campaign where the whole nation got behind and said, the football is coming home. Well, tonight, the Mela has come home. It's come back to Southall. So a big hand for all the people of Southall. I'm delighted that the Mayor of London is supporting this event. This is part of his cultural strategy to bring out culture away from central London into the outer boroughs. And I'm delighted that my colleague from Brenton Harrow, Nevin Shah, is here as part, and I know that he always is questioning the Mayor about getting the culture out of London, out of central London. Of course, culture lives amongst communities, and Southall is a multicultural community. It's a community that goes back to 1955 when the first immigrant from the Punjab came here and settled here. London is a diversity, probably one of the most diversities in the world. And we in London are stronger because of that diversity. Not only do we tolerate each other, but we celebrate that diversity. And this Mela is an example of that celebration, of that diversity, of that cultural richness we have of London. And I'm glad that the Mayor of London and London of Ealing, headed by Julian who's here, is supporting this. And I know that Virendra Sharma, the Member of Parliament, has worked very hard in this community and to build up the multicultural society that we have in London, in South at the moment. So I want to welcome you all to my particular constituency also, because I'm also a Southall lad who was not born here, but bred certainly in Southall from the age of 3. And my background is that I did go to schools in Southall, and still my parents had shops here. But it's wonderful that we have a multicultural society, a rich society, and that you hope you have a wonderful time. And I'm grateful that the Mayor is supporting this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sahota. We have found Divya Sanjeev from Zee TV. Was it Punjabi timing or was it Zee TV timing? But we're really happy to have you here, so thank you. A round of applause for Divya.
Thank you. I didn't mean to disappear. But yes, thank you all for being here today. Zee London Mela continues to be one of the premier melas in the UK, and Zee Entertainment is delighted and takes great pride in this partnership. To the crowd that's gathered here, a big thank you to all of you for watching and loving Zee TV, and I'm sure some of you here are wondering what Zee TV is, where we are the home of the South Asian entertainment. People have loved here in the UK for many, many years and continue to do so. So come see us at the Zee stall. We're located right opposite the main stage. Lots of special prizes. And a special mention, if any of you here are singers, we are looking for a singing sensation. So please do come and try your luck at the Zee stall. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much. I'm now going to hand over this mic for the rest of what we're doing here to the creative director of the London Mela, and he has been since its inception. He's, I just think, a very visionary individual. As I've said from the beginning, right from when I first met him, he wanted this to be a Mela for all people, not just an Asian Mela. And on top of that, I think he really wanted this to be the jewel in the crown of not just Melas but live events and festivals here in the UK when it comes to South Asian culture. So we'll see if he puts out some of his vision to you guys, but he's taking over this mic from me. A round of applause please for Ajay Chabra.
Good afternoon, ladies and everyone. Bobby, thank you very much. Bobby has to go on to the main stage now. We're just running late and he's about to perform in about 7 or 8 minutes. So after we finished here, please, I encourage you to go over. It's a privilege and an honour to be standing in front of you today. We're amongst friends. I'm meeting people for the first time, and we've always treated the Mela as a family. And I've always wanted to make sure that the Mela is a reflection of the playground at school that I grew up in. And the playground at the school that I grew up in, South East London, was full of people from all different backgrounds. Now, how do you recreate that in a park that your parents tell you not to go to? So growing up in the 70s and 80s, public spaces were not available. They were discouraged from. And now, today, we've activated those public spaces and they belong to us all. And what we celebrate in London is our parks and our river. These two things are such an important part of our city, so we're very pleased to be here. I shall introduce you to my partner in crime, friend. We spend a lot of time with each other, probably more than we need to sometimes. Julian Rudd. Julian.
Thanks, Ajay. Yeah, it's like a marriage without the good bits, isn't it? I'm just going to thank funders and partners for your support, without which we wouldn't be here. It's a continual struggle, but it's also a kind of miracle to bring such an incredible array of partners, co-workers, friends, creative companies, artists together in this kind of magical explosion that the Mela is. It's a privilege to do it, but it is occasionally quite stressful. And we rely on your support, so thank you to our sponsors, to ZTV, to Sunrise Radio, to RIA and to Labara and Morrison's this year. Without their support, we wouldn't make it happen. And most of all, to the Mayor of London and to the Arts Council for their continuing belief in our vision. And lastly, and by no means least, to the sterling support of Ealing Council. Personal thanks for the engagement that the leader and senior managers have with this event and their support of it. And it's a real privilege to see so many of you here today. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Julian. I could go around the room and, pick each one of you out. There are so many people. Parminder Singh from the Dole Academy. We have Luton Mela here. We have colleagues from Newcastle Mela, Manchester Mela, a whole range of people. Councillor Aisha from Greenford, Dr. Sahota, thank you so much for your support. And as Dr. Sahota said, it's the Mayor of London's vision to ensure that culture cuts through all of the departments and cuts across our city. Thank you to colleagues from the Arts Council, all of you who've made the journey to be here today. It's very meaningful. It means a lot to us. We don't get this that often or that year, and we'd like to see that continue. Just before I finish, I'd like to introduce our chair, Prashant Kumar. Prashant, would you like to come up? We met Prashant. We can't do it without you. This is, I promise you, the final speaker. Prashant, we met Prashant 7 years ago at the Embassy of Nepal when Prashant was working there as a diplomat. He's since gone on to all sorts of other things, but he introduced us to the Nepalese community in a way that we perhaps may never have known. And our relationship with the Nepalese community and our relationship with the Embassy of Nepal is so fantastic and powerful, and it continues. Prashant, can I ask you to say a few words?
Thank you, Ajay. Hello everyone, my name is Prashant Kumar and I'm the chair of the interim Art Mela International, which looks after the London Mela. So I'd like to thank you everyone, and of course Julian and Ajay for organizing this and doing all the work. But also I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our friend Manish Tiwari